Was goody? What's up, my people? How y'all doing? Hope y'all been good. Hope y'all been, chilling, finding the Most High, finding truth, finding knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and counsel, and guidance, day by day. Because without that, then what are we doing on this earth? Without that, what are we doing? I had no idea what to call this video. I had no idea what to title it. I'm probably title it something like "Just for Your Information" or "Just so you know," because the difference about this one is that there isn't a big driving home factor. There isn't a big groundbreaking delivery point. It's just a little piece, a piece that you can add to your overall collective puzzle. This isn't a full puzzle. It's just a little piece, just to keep you aware and to keep you understanding of what's going on around you. So we're going to tackle into this saying called "I am," And personally, the first time I heard or saw this phrase or this concept as it is was in the scripture. Of course, where else? I believe one of the texts, one of the scriptures where I read it in was Zephaniah 2 verse 15. The other one was Isaiah 47, I think, for verse 8. And of course, there are other points, there are other places in the scriptures that mention "I am." But I just felt that bringing these two as examples was enough. So, Zephaniah 2 verse 15 goes, "This is the city of revelry that lived in safety. She said to herself, I am the one, and there is none beside me. What a ruin she has become, a lair for wild beasts. All who pass by her scoff and shake their fists." Now, a lot of brothers may let that statement "I am," go over their heads, thinking that it's just, it's just a phrase in a sentence. But, it's more than that. It's more than that. This goes back to when the Most High in the scripture said, "I am who I am," and that was him declaring who he was, the infinite, the beginning and the end, the utmost high and the most depthful low. He is the all existence. But that's the Most High saying that, man cannot say "I am." And when I say that, please do not twist my words. Please do not go off and saying, "Oh, so we can't say I am. So if I say I am Kello, I can't say that," or "I am" is like one of the most basic phrases learned in kindergarten. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about spiritual reference, spiritual meaning of "I am," which is pretty much arrogance, self-claiming, self-identity, proclaiming yourself to be a god, so more to say. And we're going to get into that. I'm going to elaborate on that. Just let me cook. All right, so the other part, or in the scripture where I saw "I am," went like this in Isaiah 47 verse 8. "Now then, listen, you lover of pleasure, lounging in your security and saying to yourself, I am, and there is none beside me. I will never be a widow or suffer the loss of children." This parable, or this verse, speaks of a woman who has trusted in her wickedness and believed in nothing but herself and her self-influence, and she believed to be all-powerful and untamable or untakedownable, like invincible, so to say. And this woman is described as Babylon, in the context of Revelation 18 verse 7, where she again glorifies herself, and admires herself in her luxurious surrounding, in her luxurious lounging, And both these verses in these scriptures, they highlight a theme of pride, self-deception, where a woman believes herself to be superior, or not just a woman, man too, or a city, or a force, or an organization, or a group of people, or a family, self-pride and self-deception. And what makes this self-deception is the fleshly part about us. You know, the Most High can say, I am. He's all understanding. He's all understanding. He's perfect. His ways are not our ways. His understanding is way beyond ours. But when a man or a woman say it, of course, they're going to mix it up with their fleshliness, with their fleshly desires, with their desires for riches and fame. And, and that could be a terrible drug, a terrible drug that will lead you to believe that you're invincible. That will lead you to believe that you are better than the next man in every single way. That would lead you to believe that you were handpicked by God himself just because you live in lavish luxury or in plushness or in excess wealth, and that could be a slippery slope, man. That could be an easy downfall if you do not know the Most High, Now, I'm not saying it's bad to have riches, it's bad to be wealthy. No, you should strive toward financial stability. You should strive toward financial improvement, especially if you're at the rock bottom or if you're in a rut right now. Matter of fact, if we had all listened or followed the Most High and kept His commandments and His statutes and testimonies, we'd be in better off positions in terms of rulership and authority. We'd own more land, we would own more cities, we would not be shackled by Western influences. But that's a discussion for another day. So, the phrase I am is a powerful declaration that holds significant meaning in various contexts. At its core, I am is a contraction of I and am, which is fundamental expression of existence and identity. In philosophy and spirituality, I am is often used as a statement of self-awareness and self-identity, emphasizing one's inherent value and existence. In other words, they believe that they are God, or they believe that they are their own God. And you go to Instagram, you type in I am, or without typing in I am. Some of you brothers may already realize this. There are countless of celebrity profiles on Instagram that begin with I am, and that's because this is occult understanding. Witches understand the power of I am, or they understand the influence of believing that they are a god. A lot of people calling themselves God these days. And I just wanted to show you the connection with this. And here's an example of that, and this isn't even deep. I just Google searched Instagram profiles which begin with I am, and I recognize a lot of these people. I am Will, I am Compton, you have Pharrell in there, and a lot of influences that I've never really heard of. But you put two and two together, you can't say that these are just all happenstances in which they've learned from their Masonic house lodges, or their underground witch covens. This isn't happenstance. These guys know and learn about these things, which is why they reiterate it to the world. Of course, without telling you the truth about the devils that they worship. And that's just the idea that I wanted to get out to you guys today, man. Stay safe. Keep praying to the Most High. Keep being grateful for every single thing that you have, and keep striving toward better. Find your purpose, and hopefully may it align with serving the Most High. Y'all brothers, keep your head up, and keep fighting every day, baby. Don't go down easy. Don't let these demons overcome you. Don't let your weaknesses overcome you. You keep fighting, and you keep overcoming. Thank you for another video, man. I'm gone.